जय जय श्री राम.
जय जय श्री राम.
जय सीताराम.
जय सीताराम.
So today on this auspicious occasion of Diwali celebration, we all have gathered here, and the main essence of Diwali is what? Why we celebrate Diwali? Any children wants to tell? Why we celebrate Diwali? What is the historical thing which happened on the day of Diwali?
Stand up and tell. Stand up and tell.
Ram and Sita come back.
Yes, from where? Yes. Ram and Sita came from Lanka. And where they came? Ayodhya. Right. And then what Ayodhyawasis did? What did Ayodhya, people of Ayodhya did? How they welcomed Ram?
Light up the lamps. Yes, light up the lamps.
They lighted some deepaks and put some lights on to welcome them back into their home.
Yes.
Very good.
So that's the main significance of Diwali. Why we celebrate Diwali? Because the Ayodhyawasis, they welcome Prabhu Ram by lighting their entire Ayodhya with the lamps. And now also we see this year in Ayodhya we see the celebration and it has done world record, right? So that's the main essence of Diwali, and also very special and sweet pastimes of Krishna happened exactly on the day of Diwali, and that is called Damodar Leela. So now we will have Ram Katha, and after that we will sing one pastime which is composed by Satyavrat Muni, which describes this pastime, this Leela of Krishna, who was bound by the affection of his mother Yashoda. So both these significant pastimes happen on the day of Diwali. That's the essence why we celebrate Diwali. So before starting with our Ram Katha, let us sing together one bhajan which glorifies the qualities of Prabhu Ram, and then we will start.
Lyrics are very simple, you can repeat easily after this. This we did before also, so you might be familiar. Ramachandra
बोलो श्याम रामचंद्र की जय, हनुमान की जय. So before starting with our discussion, let us offer our gratitude to the great Vyas Maharishi who has written this literature for all of us. Valmiki Rishi who composed this beautiful Ramayana for the ranjan of our heart, for our Hridaya Ranjan. So please, we will now recite some prayer. Please repeat it after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I am very grateful for the organizers of HSS, Ashishji, Pujaji, Gurudeji, so many Swayamsevak are here, and I feel very elated that you have given me this opportunity to glorify the qualities of Prabhu Ram on this auspicious celebration of Diwali. So this Ram Katha is very special. So this is not just an information. This is not just a history period. This is our culture. The foundation of the Sanatana culture is our Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the foundation of our culture, and on that foundation, our culture is tradition. So this is our attempt to connect with the root of our Sanskriti. Because Ramayana, what do we mean by Ramayana? Ramayana means it is a journey of Ram. Ramasya Ayam. Ayam means journey. So this is a journey of Prabhu Ram. So how he, when he came here in the Ayodhya, and that time, how his life's journey was. That is explained by Valmiki Maharishi in Ramayana. So Valmiki Maharishi received this instruction from Brahmaji that you compose this in specific meter. So basically he gave the birds to one hunter who happens to be the Manchi bird. And that curse, it was sung in a specific meter, Chandra. And because of that, the beauty of that hour was so overwhelming that Valmiki was also surprised. He was sad that I was because we don't have time to go deeply into the story. Otherwise, we would have won. So the Valmiki was reflecting that I have cursed this hunter, but this poetry which is composed by cursing that hunter, this is very special. And then when he was thinking like this, Brahmaji came in front of Valmiki. And Brahmaji told that actually I have given you the inspiration to give the verse in specific meter. So now what you do? You describe the beauty of Ramayana. You basically describe the activity of a person who is ideal, whose behavior is ideal, whose character is ideal. So he lists out the qualities of Prabhu Ram. And then Brahmaji instructed Valmiki that in this composed, in this specific meter, this Ramayana. So Ramayana is not just an information. When we hear the Ram Katha, what happens? It brings transformation in our heart. It fills our heart with the emotion, with the love towards Ram. Because when the Atma connects with the Paramatma, in that situation only we can experience the eternal happiness. That's the nature of all of us, Anandamaya Bhasa. We all are seeking the Ananda, and that pure spiritual bliss is available when we connect ourselves with Ram or with Krishna. So with this, the theme of Ramayana, so every kavya has a different rasa. So the predominant rasa of Ramayana is which is a predominant rasa in Ramayana. It is Karunas. So Ramayana is for people who have a soft heart, basically. It has so much of emotions. So it has Karuna. You see the Karuna of Prabhu Ram, that he was an ideal king and he showed through his example how ideal king should behave. And that's why he has to leave Sita Devi in that spirit. So that was a sacrifice and welfare of others. That's the central theme. The Karuna is the central theme of Ramayana. And in Ramayana we have different kind, right? And out of that, the most famous kind is which one? Sundarkand. So today we will discuss few aspects of Sundarkand because this is very close to everyone's heart. Because the glorification of Ram is incomplete without glorifying his pure and unalloyed devotee, Hanuman. So we have just 20 minutes, so I request everyone to please try to get absorbed in this Ram Katha, because this Katha has a potency to create aspirations within all of us to serve Prabhu Ram. This Katha has power to basically purify our desires, to purify our heart. So that's why let's try to make this again. Our mind will go here and there, but let's try to bring back our mind and just try to tune ourselves with this Ramayana Katha. And when we hear with attentive and humble heart, then this Ram Katha will bring transformation in our life. So now we will discuss from Sundarkand. So Sundarkand means when Prabhu Ram is so basically Sita was kidnapped by Ravan, and then Sugriva gave order to all his Vanar soldiers that we go in a directions and find Sita. Because Sugriv is a person who knows the entire geography. So he was kind of Suvarna at that time. Because when Bali used to chase him, he has done the entire world tour. He was trying to seek avenue where he can basically be protected from the onslaught of Bali. So that's why he knows each and every corner of the world. So he knows the potential places where Ravana could hide Sita Devi. So then he summoned all his army, and then all the monkey soldiers they made in a different direction. But they have the biggest hope from the southern direction. Because Jatayu also informed Ram and Lakshman that Ravana has to Sita Devi in the southern direction, where Lanka is. So now all the monkey soldiers they received this instruction, and their mission was what? The mission of monkey soldiers is to find Sita Devi. And then Prabhu Ram, he personally inspired each and every soldiers, each and every Vanara for that matter. And then he empowered them, and then he basically did loving reciprocation with all the Vanaras. And then they were very excited to find Sita Devi. So they were jumping here and there, climbing on a tree to find Sita. So initially they have a lot of enthusiasm. So this happens in our life also. When we connect with something new, because it is fresh for our mind, we show a lot of enthusiasm. So there are many people who will connect with some cause for a short period of time. But in order to retain this inspiration for a longer duration, we can't survive on the inspiration only. Because inspiration is an temporary resource. So for that, we need dedication, utsaha, nishya, dharya, tatak, karma, bhavana. So we need enthusiasm, utsaha, also need determination that no matter what happens, I will continue this seva, I will continue this diet work. This nishya, determination is very necessary if you want to do the service for a longer duration. And then third thing is dharya. We all need patience also. Because life is not smooth. It's a topsy-turvy ride. So we need to have patience. We need to have that conviction that if I continue serving Prabhu Ram, if I continue serving the mission of Prabhu Ram, one day definitely I will achieve the success. And the success is in what? The success is in the acharana of dharma. That is the success. Whether you are successful or not, the result, Krishna or Ram doesn't see the result. He sees our action, he sees our intention. He is a bhava Janardhan. He don't evaluate. So in the corporate world or anywhere in this world, our actions are evaluated based on the kind of result we produce. But in spiritual circle, when we are serving Ram or when we are serving Ram path, serving the mission of Prabhu Ram, when we are serving this mission of spreading this culture of Sanatana Dharma, in that what matters is not the success, external success, that how many people are coming, how much influence we are able to generate. That's not. How much dedicated I am as a Karyakarta. How much service attitude I have cultivated. And because that's our supreme dharma. Srimad Bhagavatam tells, Samay Purusa Avaro Dharmo Yatho Bhaktir Adhoshate Ahetuki Avranyata Your Atma Surasati. So the Param Dharma of the Atma, soul, is to serve Supreme Lord, Prabhu Ram, to serve Ram's mission selfless. That's actually the dharma of each and every living entity, to serve Ram. And whatever you see, all this Srishti, everything belongs to Ram. Right? So we are just caretaker of these resources. And in this consciousness, if we do our life work, then the happiness is in
following the path of dharma. So there is no good or bad in this world. So in the scriptures you see the discrimination is done based on the parameter of whether you are doing dharma or adharma. So in our life we need to follow the path of dharma. And what is that path of dharma? Ramayana is teaching us. So now these monkey soldiers, they were very inspired and then they were jumping here and there. So like this one passed.
The universe.
And then they couldn't find Sita.
The universe.
Then when this the in charge of southern division was the in charge? No. Angad, yes. So Angad was given the charge. He was leading that Vanar Tukdi. So how their procession used to go? Angad used to be in the front, and who used to be in the background? Who is the last person in that? It was Hanuman. So Hanumanji was at the back and Jambalji was at the front. So Acharya tells us what Angad represents. Of course, they are historical realities, but just to take some lessons, Acharya has commented on that. That the Angad represents Buddhi. So whenever we try to serve Prabhu Ram, or whenever we try to connect with some spiritual path, first we need to use our intelligence. We need to do the proper analysis whether whatever this path is or whatever the philosophy it is getting taught to us, or whether this mission is genuine or not. So there we need to use our intelligence. But only buddhi is not sufficient, because in our life, so by selecting a spiritual path, we need to apply our logic, we need to apply our buddhi, and then try not to get cheated. But once we are convinced that yes, this is a genuine path, this is a genuine mission with which I can identify myself, this is a mission of Ram, then in that case what happens? We need to start doing the services. And in our life, such scenarios will come when simply rational ability will not make sense. Because to achieve the lotus feet of Ram and Sita is a very difficult target. It's not easy because we are having so much of impurity in our heart. So to purify ourselves within this short lifetime seems to be impossible. But then there we need Hanumanji. So Hanumanji knows that these Vanaras, they are very inspired, but eventually their inspiration will go down. And when their inspiration will go down, that time I will take one. So one should always not try to be in the front. Try to see where I can contribute as per my swabha and prakriti. So then these Vanaras, 1 month happened and they started doubting whether Sita exists or not, whether we will be able to find Sita or not. But still they were trying. And suddenly they saw one big, pitch dark cave in front of them. So that cave was so dark that if you put your hand, you will not be able to see your hand. It was so pitch dark. So then Angad, he stopped there. Because he couldn't make sense of this, that what is, it's unpredictable. Through your logic you can understand. So then Angad, he said, I will not enter this cave because you know that all the problems with my father, Bali, happens when he enters the cave. That's the basically because of the differences between Sugreva and Bali. So then no one was ready to enter that cave because there was unpredictability. So sometimes in our services also there will be unpredictability. But if we have strong faith, if we have the sincerity to carry out this mission, then we will not get affected and we will continue with our service. No matter whether it's raining or whether it's bad, we will continue doing our life work. So then Hanumanji comes in the front, who was always in the background. He came at the front because his services were needed. And then he came and he entered the cave. And then Angadji, he basically picked the tail of Hanumanji. He was holding the tail of Hanumanji. Because Angadji had Vishwas that I don't know where in the vision of Hanumanji. So I am knowing for sure that Hanumanji will take us to the right direction. So, and then the other Vanaras, they were holding, so one Vanara he hold the tail of Angaji, and then another Vanara hold their tail. So like this, they were holding each other's tail and they were going in the direction. So that's why in the community, if you want to flourish, then the leader of the community should have a vision which is in line with the vision of Ram. So here there was a Hanuman, so that's why they continued their journey, even though it seems impossible to find Sita. And then eventually they meet whom? There was one yogini. What was her name? After entering the cave, they saw one yogini who was doing the tapasya. What's her name? Sundarayana Adai. Her name is Swayamprabha. So she had a mystic power, and she saw that these Vanaras, they have not eaten since many months now. They are extremely tired, and she has a mystic power. So she told them that, and she saw that their mission is genuine. So she said that because you are doing the Ram, you are serving the mission of Ram, so let me contribute to you. So she said, so first what she did, she created through her yogi power, she created different forests there. There are different lakes, different varieties of fruits. And monkeys, they were so excited because since many times they didn't have proper food. And they saw there are beautiful trees, there are the rivers are flowing. So they feel so happy and they started jumping in the water, they started eating all the 1 month's backlog they have cleared there. And they were enjoying and they said, let me just be here, I have to find Sita. Let Sita be there, I just want to enjoy because this place is more than heaven place. Right? So like that, the Vanaras, they get completely excited and they were engaged in enjoying the resources which Swayamprabha Devi has created. So now what happens is, but there was Hanuman who was focused on the goal, who was driven not by the inspiration but driven by the commitment. And that's why Hanuman reminded them of the purpose of what is our mission. These temporary pleasures are insignificant. So sometimes when we continue doing our service, we get some prestige, we get some name fame, and most of the people get trapped to that position or to that name fame, and then their service or life is just for that name or fame or just for that position. So basically it misses the entire essence of Ram's mission. So then serving Ram's mission is not the goal then. Serving my ego becomes the goal. So as a sadhana, as a karyakarta, we need to be absolutely sure that what is my end goal, what is my mission. I am coming to Shaka, why I want to serve here. What is the end goal, what is the bigger vision. And let's move to that bigger vision. So then Hanumanji reminded them and then they become again, yes, they come back to the track and they ask Swayamprabha, yes, thank you so much, we are now rejuvenated, please guide us how we can go to Lanka. So then Swayamprabha said that I have a yogi power, I can take you to the Lanka where Sita Devi is. What you need to do is, you need to just close your eyes. So if I told you to close your eyes, how many of you will do? Yeah. Let's try this. Let's go. So Swayamprabha, she has told the monkeys to close your eyes, I will take you to the Lanka and then you will find Sita easily there. So then all the Vanaras close their eyes. And then Swayamprabha with her yogi power was taking them to the Lanka. So they were feeling that they are flying in the air. And then what happens? Their concentration. Immediately when they saw that they are flying, then they couldn't hold back for a long time. And they just opened their eyes to see what is down. Because they were vanaras. How much concentration they can have? Like in our life also we can't have much concentration when we do spiritual sadhana. So they were the monkeys. So they just were able to close their eyes for 2 seconds, and in that time then as soon as they opened their eyes they were put down on the bank of that ocean near Rameshwar. So there now they were seeing this big gigantic ocean in front of them. So now I see that they get again discouraged. That how it is possible to cross this ocean. And they were deciding that they become extremely sad. And they said, what is the use of going back now? Because we are not able to serve Ram. We are not able to find Sita. Anyway, if we come back, Supreme will not spare us. So let's die here. So they had a desire of doing mass suicide. So with that, then the Sampati came there and he was very happy that now these monkeys will die and I can eat them. But then they said, okay, anyway, if this is beyond us now, this activity, this mission is beyond us, let's just do Ram Katha. And then they started doing Ram Katha. Started glorifying the activities of Ram. And when they were doing Ram Katha, at that time what happens? The name of Jatayu comes. And when Sampati heard the name of Jatayu, he immediately came there and he asked that, why you are talking about Jatayu? And then they narrated in the entire story that how Jatayu was killed by Ravan and how he was trying to protect Sita Devi. He was trying to do his path of dharma. So then Sampati gave them, with his vision, he could saw that Sita Devi is there in the Ashwapatila. And then he said, yes, Sita Devi is there, but I am old, I can't fly. So here, when we get absolutely depressed, who can help us? It's a Ram Katha. So when Sita Devi was also trying to leave her body in a separation from Ram, what help? Hanumanji came there and he see Ram Katha. So Ram Katha is a ultimate medicine, remedy for all the suffering of in our life. Because it gives us the strength. So now these Vanaras, they got the address that Sita is there, Sita Devi is there, 100 yojanas away. So then each and every Vanaras, they were trying to estimate their power. So Angad said that I can cross over 100 yojanas. So all the monkeys they started clapping. But then he said, I am not sure I can come back. Because Angad was thinking that there are so many temptations in this in Lanka, and I am alone. I may not able to do that. So then everyone was trying that I can go 20 miles, I can go 30 miles like that. And then Hanumanji was completely silent. And there comes the invisible hero of Ramayana. Who is the invisible hero of Ramayana? Jambuvanji. So Jambuvanji came and then he told Hanumanji, oh Hanumanji, this ocean is just a drop in front of your mouth. And then he reminded Hanumanji of his real potential. And then Hanumanji, because he was first by the Muni, because when you are on his ships and your power is really covered. And then, but Jambuvanji reminded him of his true power, and then Hanumanji he realized his powers, and then for him, this crossing ocean was just insignificant. Suddenly, in a space of moment, he took a gigantic form in front of all the Vanaras. He became as big as Mahindra mountain, which was just there. And then he started roaring, Jai Shri Ram!
Sri Ram. Jai Sri Ram. That's how Hanuman was going. So here there are two very important lessons for all of us. So the first lesson is, if you want to have a sustainable community or successful community, then we need a leader like Jambuan who are selfless. Because Jambuanji knows that if I basically narrate Hanumanji, if I told Hanumanji about his power, he will become hero. I will always be in the background. Right? But he was not thinking of himself. He was completely submitted for the cause, for the mission. So that invisible, selfless leader who are not seeking for position, who are just seeking for what is my life for, how I can empower others to do the service so that this mission of Ram, this mission of propagation of Sanatana Dharma can carry on for eternity.
He went there.
So it's not about me, it's about we. Sambhav Shakti Kaliyo. So Jambuanji, he empowered Hanumanji without having any expectation of getting some credit or recognition later. Because he knows that when he was young, he had circumvented Vamanji, Vamandev 7 times, 14 times. So he has done the production of Prithvi 14 times. That much power he had. But he became old. So we should not be hooked to the position group for entire our life. We should, in the right time, we should pass it to the younger generation, so that this becomes sustainable model. So that's the glory of Jambuanji. And the other Vanar Sena, what was their greatness? So before this revelation, Hanumanji was a simple Vanar like other Vanars. But in a state of movement, Hanumanji received a special mercy and he became a big. He suddenly became a hero. He suddenly became so capable by the empowerment of Ram. And what other Vanars they did? They started jumping in joy. They started clapping. They started dancing. They started rotating their tail. So that's the difference between us and Vanars. Unfortunately, sometimes when we see our colleague or our sahpati, he is getting some extravagant power or extravagant mercy, then in our heart we may feel some envy. We may feel that this should not have happened. We both were of same thing, but how he was empowered? Because this is anyway we all are madhyam. So then Hanumanji, what Hanumanji replied to this Vanar, they said, your question itself is wrong, that how long you can go. I am like arrow of Ram. I am a Ram Bhan. So how long arrow will go? Who decides?
No.
Archer, right? With how much force he will put in that arrow, that long the arrow will go. So I am Ram Bhan. I am the arrow of Ram. However, whatever the service Ram wants to do to me, he will empower me to that extent. So he was absolutely humble, absolutely transparent, and he was situated in the knowledge that really I am not the doer. I am not the doer. Ultimate doer is Ram. I am just a madhyam. I am doing my dharma. If Ram wants to empower me, may he empower, and then he might do some extravagant thing through me. So that's the Ramayana. Here there is a unity for the cause. And then eventually we all know the story. This journey is full of lessons, like some other day we will describe this, we will have a discussion over this journey. But now in the interest of time, I would like to stop here. So let us enthusiastically chant Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Thank you all very much. Now we will sing Damodar Ashtak. So this Damodar Ashtakam, these are the 8 verses composed by Satyavrat Muni. In these verses, if you see this picture, in this picture, Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda through the rope. So she was trying to bind Krishna through the rope
So who is Krishna? He is unlimited. Right? He is Vishnu, who is all pervasive. So it is impossible to find Krishna or find Ram because there is no Anta for them. But Mother Yashoda is, so every time she was trying, the rope was 2 fingers short. And then she used all the ropes from Vrindavan, still it was 2 fingers short. So Acharya says this 2 finger represents, first finger represents our effort and second finger represents Krupa. So the Krupa of Ram will only come if we are genuine in our effort. So if we genuinely serve Ram's mission, then the empowerment and Krupa of Ram will come. So here Krishna is not bound by the rope, but by the pure and unalloyed love of Mother Yashoda. So here Satyavati is praying that Varam Deva Moksham Namoksham Madhima Vidam Deva Punartha Upayapala Sadami Manasya Vyasam Vinane. That I am not even aspiring for moksha or liberation. May this Bal Gopal form of yours be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use. So that's the prayer which Satyavati is making. So now, usually we do the lamp offering, but now because we do some restrictions in this one, we will do the flower offering. So let's sing Dharma now.
HSS ग्रुप पे भेजा हुआ है दामोदर अष्टकम, आप उसे चेक करें। उसके बाद वो राम स्तुति करेंगे।
सबके पास लिरिक्स है, ग्रुप में है।
सच्चिदानंद रूपम लसत्कुंडलं